Hey y'all, let's get into it. We here to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? Child, let's chat about it, all right? Y'all know Kelly and Porsha ended up getting into it at the top of this episode, end of last episode, because Kelly said that Porsha had slept with every Nigerian in Atlanta, bitch. And I'm screaming. You was wrong for that, but that shit was hilarious. And baby, the way Porsha had whiplash on you and put her finger in your face, hilarious. You know what I did appreciate though? At some point, Kelly does acknowledge that she was tired of Porsha putting her hand in her putting her finger in her face, right? I'm glad she did because for some reason, Porsha's fans, like y'all be funny. Y'all be hilarious with how y'all be trying to overlook some shit, right? Acting like, oh, Kelly put this glass in Portia's face. She put this glass in her face. And it's like, girl, actually, she put a glass in her finger in Portia's face. High key. That's what she did. But aside from that, Porsha put her damn finger in that lady face first. So it's like, okay, let me go ahead and get this glass for this big bitch. Okay, period. But it is what it is, all right. I'm glad the ladies did not come to blows because y'all too grown for that. We just like a little spick and spat. Never want to see the people fighting down to the TV child. All right. Just want to see y'all, what y'all gave us is exactly what we want. Okay. Confrontations, but no physical confrontations, period. Okay. Um, yeah, so all in all, Portia said, everybody know that man who you had sex with, and yes, he was married. Then Portia said, you lied on me last year. Licked your ass back. And you mad about it. And I said, Portia, come here. Sit down. What was the lie? Tell America. What was the lie? What did she lie about? Huh? I can tell you what I think you lying about. hmm I think you lying about that married pastor who is now Nigerian. Yeah, I feel like you be adding shit to the story for me. And Kelly says a fact comes with the receipt. So I want to see the receipts. Bring them receipts with you to the reunion. Okay? No, 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 no. Don't be bringing no damn text messages that you misunderstood or whatever and created your own, whatever you wanted to create, like what you tried to do with Drew and Dennis last season when you tried to insinuate some shit and Dennis had to tell you, no, that's not what we talked about. Yeah, don't bring no fake ass receipts, girl. Okay? Bring some real receipts. So some hardcore receipts so we won't be in confusion like K. Michelle has had us in confusion. Okay, we want to be very clear. Kelly, you slept with the man. All right? Because you can no longer say that you are the receipt when there has been a history of lying. I'm just letting you know, okay? Kelly tells Kimberly that she's been played with enough. Play with somebody else. Okay? Damn. Then Portia tells her team, your team, come fuck with my team. Portia over here talking to her team, right? And her team being the other ladies, you know what I'm saying? She talking to her team and she says, Kelly, she just fucked that Nigerian married man. And I'm like, now he Nigerian too? Now he's a Nigerian too, and he a fucking pastor. Portia, sit the hell down. Sit down. Sit the fuck. And you better, when you bring this receipt to the you better bring a married Nigerian pastor to come sit his ass down. You better, girl. And you know what? I feel like at this point, I feel like Mike was a hire by Portia. So if Portia hires her fucking body to come to the front, first of all, bitch, that would be messy as fuck. That would be out of line. And the people, you know what, Portia, don't do that. Because the people gonna be trying to eat you up, girl. They're gonna be on your head like they was when you and Phaedra concocted that shit against Kandi. Okay? I don't know why PNP stay coming up against a K. I don't know what that is. Okay? I don't know what y'all have with the K's, but it's some about it. Okay? Kandi K. Michelle Kelly. All right. However, don't do that, girl. Don't hire married Nigerian pastor to come down. Okay, just have the actual receipt shot. Either way, let's keep going. So Angela, when Portia was over there talking about some of the Nigerian married man, Angela said the pastor. I said, I know that's right, Angela. Cause it's like, oh, he Nigerian too. You talking about the pastor, so he Nigerian too. I said, exactly. Anywho, Anywho, let's keep going because this entire saga of Portia saying this man slept with this woman slept with this married man is about as crazy as Kimberly in this plot situation that she did not let play itself out. Okay, it's just let's keep going. All right. So Porsha says that Kelly is being a follower, right, for Kimberly. And I disagree. I don't think that Kelly's being a follower at all. I think that Kelly hasn't really cared for you from the beginning since day one. Okay. Since day one, she had been shading you. So yeah, I think she just been keeping that same energy, you know. I don't think that she needed to be a follower behind K Michelle. You know what I'm saying? And then didn't Kelly just tell you when y'all were in Texas that she didn't want to make up with your ass no way? She said, I'm good with where we at. We good. Cause you stay on your bullshit. So yeah, nah, we ain't gotta be cool. So I don't know why you thought that what Kelly did was her being a follower behind K Michelle when she been giving you energy before you and Kay even had an issue. Hence the reason you had to come to the front to throw this whole allegation out there at her. So anyway, that's that. Kelly over there venting, right? So keep in mind before they cut in between the scenes, Kelly is heard saying that, you know, like, I got a lot of SHI going on, play with somebody else, like, don't play with me. Then next thing you know, she says, I don't want to tell y'all what I've been going through, what I got going on in my life, because I'm not for to tell y'all them ladies something and they turn around, they throw this shit back in my face like we not doing that. Right. And so when I heard that, for me, it is giving a little bit that you taking your anger out on Porsha, because you got a lot going on in your life. It is giving a little bit of projecting. Okay. Yeah. And if anybody inserted themselves at that table, I would say for me, that would be Kelly. Kelly inserted herself, not Drew, but Kelly did with the ad libbing and shit in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like that part. Whoop de whoop de whoop de whoop. I think that we've learned something so far, and what we've learned is Porsha has fucked every Nigerian in Atlanta. Girl, that's a piece of inserting. Okay, now I do understand you still not really with Porsha, still being upset with Porsha because of the allegations and the stuff that she's putting out there and how she acted on the bus and didn't want to be cool. And you like, I don't want to be cool with you on your terms, bitch. When it's beneficial to you, I don't fuck with you, right? So I definitely understand you still having some of that energy for her, but it did give a little bit of misplaced, just slightly. Okay, but y'all let me know y'all thoughts, because you didn't even have to jump in there like that and say, I loved it, girl. You made some good TV. I'm not going to hold you in. I'm not going to make some good TV, but you didn't have to jump in there like that. Okay? Either way, Kelly and Shamia decide at the end of the day they finna leave. All right? And I'm glad Shamia went ahead and left with Kelly in my personal, because I feel like if she would have came back, hey, Angela Boo. Angela, okay, she definitely would have figured out a way to flip this, twist this, and put some shit on Shamia. Okay, because I think when Angela was outside, she said something like she's fucked every Nigerian in Atlanta or something like that. She says, "Oh, she heard that from somewhere." Angela, this is where you're gonna get on my fucking nerves. Okay, it's the you. It. I don't. I understand her and Shamia having their issues last year, but girl, I don't. It's like it don't make sense when you've sat up there and you've forgiven Porsha for what she said and you up under her ass. And then also when it comes to Phaedra, who you tried to say plotted on your ass, which I don't care what nobody's talking about. I don't give a fuck about Phaedra's history. Phaedra did not plot on her ass. I feel like Angela did that shit to her fucking self, okay? But outside of that, you over here being buddy with the people or at least Phaedra, you accused her of doing something, and then Porsha said a certain thing and you cool with her, but then you upset with Shamia because all she said was this small thing of y'all ruined my friendship or whatever. And it's like, I'm not finna harp on that if I know that you know I didn't ruin your friendship. You bitches was shaky before you even came into the show. Like, why are we putting emphasis on that? So at some point, yes, you have supporters that are hyping you up with this. After a while, you're gonna be dragging it. You're gonna turn, the tide is gonna turn, right? I feel like it's cool now because a lot of the people don't like Shamia, right? But what happens when Shamia don't return to the show like y'all don't want her to? Y'all gonna be back to dragging Angela because y'all ain't gonna like how she gonna be coming at Porsha, coming at your fave. But either way, I'm looking for. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I would love for Shamia to stay, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. Cause I love to see how y'all be moving the line when it comes to your fave. Okay. But all in all, it's gonna get boring. It's gonna get tiresome if y'all return into season 3, or not really season 3, but y'all third season together, and then you on this same shit. Like, girl, that tide is gonna turn. We're gonna get tired of seeing this shit. Especially, but see, this is the only reason we will get tired, I will say, if the issues are old. If the issue is still old and we dragging it out by 3 like, that's the girl, that's too much. The tide will turn, okay? And speaking of Angela, Drew, and Porsha are chatting, right? And Drew says that she's tried to get to know Kimberly, but she just has it out for her. I don't think either one of you have tried to get to know each other, but I do feel like Kimberly has it out for you. I do. I don't know what you had did to that lady, but yeah. Yeah, okay. But let's be clear though. I do feel like Drew is a person that every time folks come on the show, she's easy to try. She's easy to try. I don't know why. But she's just easy to try. Okay. But it is what it is. I don't think y'all both have had that sit down time, like, hey, let me get to know you. Let's da 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 da. And honestly, I feel like even if you had tried that earlier on, I feel like K Michelle would not have given you that. I really don't. I don't think she would have gave you that. We'll see. Angela wants to show Kimberly that she can have good lady friends while she's amongst the group. So she's determined to be that good lady friend to Kimberly. And she says it was probably very hard for Kimberly to hear Drew say to her that she doesn't belong or she doesn't fit in. I disagree. I don't think it was that hard for her to hear that at all. Because K Michelle, in my personal, Kimberly prides herself on being in places that people tell her she should not be in. She doesn't deserve to be in. She doesn't fit in. She enjoys SHI like that, right? So for Drew to say it's clear you don't fit in, it's giving, yeah, except for I do though, and I'm here though. Except for I ain't going nowhere. At least you ain't finna get me up off the table. So now what? I think Kimberly enjoys that, but those are my thoughts. Porsha. Porsha believes that Kimberly likes her, but doesn't understand why she feels like she has to fight with her, right? Porsha says she was excited to build this friendship up with Kimberly. And Angela says, I hear that. But if her feelings were hurt, then you should have heard her out. And I feel like Angela is reflecting on what we all were reflecting on earlier in the conversation. Porsha was not trying to hear Kimberly out. But then Angela, I guess she thought about when they talked, because the next sentence was what you tried to do, right? So originally, Porsha was not trying to hear her out. And they had a little bit of talking, but it's still not going to change my mind on the fact that Kimberly, when Porsha asked you, like what? Like, what are these things you're saying I've done or plotting or whatever the case is? And you said, why would I tell you when you know? Why? Like, excuse me? We have everybody at the table that you're accusing of doing something. You look crazy. Tell that lady what the issue is. How you gonna have an issue and not really say what the issue is? It's just the plot. But I don't even know what the hell you talking about. How can I really defend myself for real? Like, what you talking about? Right? So that's that. Okay. But Angela then goes on to tell Drew that the conversation got derailed with her. Yeah, it did get derailed with me, but understand that wasn't my fault. I know that's right, Drew. Okay. Drew said that lady said something to me. So if you think that I'm gonna sit in this chair and I'm not gonna respond back to her, girl, you got another thing coming. I'm gonna say something. Okay. So then Kimberly tells Phaedra that she didn't want to disrespect her house, right? And Pinky tells her, well, you did get spicy, honey. You did get real spicy with Drew. And Kimberly says, to watch a funny face girl. Now, I know people want to believe that K. Michelle was not talking about Drew's facial features, but I'm one to believe that she was. Period. I think that first sentence, funny face girl, funny face and face are two separate things, okay? Then, because she called her to watch a funny face girl. Then she says, I like to call her face ass. Hilarious. That shit was, I'm sorry, face ass. And then they start showing the huh, huh, huh. Fucking hilarious. But let's be clear. K. Michelle was talking about her face. I don't care how we clean it up. Love K down. She probably watching. Girl, you was talking about her face, okay? However, I feel like for Kay, you know, when we have our conversations, when we talking, it only takes a millisecond for something to flash in your head and be like, damn, I probably shouldn't have said that. You know what I'm saying? You follow it up with something different, right? So I feel like funny face, she meant what she said the first time, but she followed it up with, I call her face ass, like, cause she always, yeah. But funny face, face, two different things for me. To watch a funny face girl. Ain't nothing wrong with her face. And then let me tell you another reason why I'm saying that. Because Kelly gonna sit up there after this was like a few episodes back, right? Because why would you even say funny face girl? And I don't know if they're gonna insult her face again, but face card is crazy. So you can never talk about the face card. Like, is y'all cool? But outside of that, when Kelly said something like saying Drew face looked like the alien on her show or something like that. And it's like, yo, you want to do face? Let's not do face, okay? Because everybody got a face. Shawty got a face on her. Like, everybody got a face, baby. Okay? Let's not. Because you said Drew got a face ass. Now, when Drew comes to the reunion with your face ass, I don't want to hear nobody saying nothing. It would be long overdue. Okay? And if it's funny, I'm gonna laugh on both sides. Understand, but that's just where we at with that. Feel away. Kimberly and Pinky, they decide they're gonna leave together. I think that was a good decision. But also, I also kind of feel like that was Kimberly's way of kind of like skating because she want to finish the damn conversation. Like, I'm finna go ahead and go. Somebody should have said, "No, you finna sit your ass down, okay?" So that you and Porsha could talk about what the hell is going on. Okay. So they get in the car and Pinky tells Kimberly that she believes that Porsha genuinely wants to be her friend, but she got this kind of facade that she got to keep up or something, right? And so Kimberly says, you know what? I think you're right because, when we're not around the group, I get a completely different Porsha. When we're not around everybody, she just different. And I say, you know what? I believe y'all telling the truth. I don't know what kind of Porsha we get outside of the show. Is she just like laid back, like not all glammed up? Like, what kind of Porsha do y'all get outside of the show? And let me tell you why I asked. Because last year when Shamia and Porsha had a sit down, right? Shamia brought up, I guess, them texting or something. She brought up a text message, like a previous message that she and Porsha had via text. And she was saying something about, I told you I wanted us to be on screen how we are off screen. That's what was said in the text message that Shamia brought up. And Porsha said that will never happen. This is what was saying in the text message. I think this was the sit down when Porsha wasn't really offering Shamia nothing. Okay. Aside from moving around them damn eating utensils, bitch. Okay. Clanking of the glasses and stuff and silverware. But I think she mentioned that then. So to hear Kimberly say that and to hear um Pinky kind of say that, I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. Like, what kind of Porsche y'all get outside the show? Because I would think that's the same damn Porsche. Because and in Portia's defense a little bit too, bitch, this work. So you probably never will get all of me on camera like that. It's to me, it could be like no different than a corporate job, right? Where it's like, I mean, shit, I'm gonna hang out, I'm gonna do this and that outside of work. When I come to work, I got a job to do. I gotta do. Right. So maybe it could be a situation like that. But I'm thinking the same fun, happy go lucky Porsche that y'all get on camera, y'all would get behind camera. So what is this Porsche that y'all be getting that we don't get to see? Like, what is that? But either way, okay, that's what's going on. Now, Phaedra decides to join the old four. All right. And Porsha says every time Kelly but when she butted into the conversation with her and Kimberly, she said Kimberly would get quiet. She said, so are we double teaming? Is that what we're doing now? And I'm like, girl, I don't give a damn about you being double teamed. You know why? Because when it came down to Shamia, you and Angela damn near double teamed her, trying to say that she the reason that Kate thinking this, or she's coming to y'all with these feelings and all of this other shit. And neither one of y'all bit more talk to Shamia or none of that, but was able to put it off on her. Right? Well, Angela, I remember, I'm not Angela, what Porsha said, Kimberly, when we were at dinner, I remember Shamia saying that Y'all was trying to put it on her. Okay, so I feel like that was double teaming. So guess what? Don't nobody care about you being double teamed. High key. So Porsha says, if you wanted to be mature, why haven't you called me? I agree with that. I agree with that. Just as much as you would have wanted Porsha to call you about y'all ex-lover, Nosh, okay, then yeah, you could have gave her a call as well. Okay, so I do agree with that. And Porsha goes on to say, and this was very interesting. This portion here was very interesting for me to hear. So Porsha goes on to say, this is not the place for you to have done that. What do you mean this is not the place for you to have done that? We're amongst a group of friends. And you already know, whenever we sit down for dinners, there's always drama. At every single dinner, there is always drama. Something is always brought up. You couldn't possibly think that you could have a sit down the day before or whatever with Phaedra and them. Y'all hanging out, chit chat, you learning how Kay feel, and then you sitting down at a table with Kay and not think that the conversation is going to come up. What do you mean this was not the place for you to have done that? Then she followed it up with, this is why I'm going to stop you when you say that I am setting you up. And all of that right there was a bit confusing. It was given, yeah, BIT, there was a plot, but you ain't give me a chance to carry it out. And if you was going to feel a way about some shit, then why you just ain't call me and I could have told you what was really going on. I could have got to you before you got on camera with this bullshit. Right? Tell me something. This was not the place to have done that at. What? Girl, this is always the place for y'all to have done it, especially after having a damn sound bath or whatever y'all had, especially after having that. That's how she approached it. It's all calm. It's peaceful. I'm coming to you with this type of energy. Whoop, de whoop, de whoop. Maybe you'll receive it better coming to you like this. Right? Yes, she very well could have called you. Right? She could have. I do agree with that. However, it does not mean that the conversation would not go down in front of the group. And with this happening in front, why would this not be the place? And when you say stuff like that, makes me still feel like, yeah, it was a plot. And what makes, because again, that's what reality people do. We're not going to act like any of these ladies haven't done research. All of the housewives do research on each other. They all learn and get tea on each other. That's just how this goes, okay? So when she says that, it gives to me, yes, there was some type of plot, but Kay, you look crazy because you did not allow said plot to follow through. You sat up there and you were like, oh, I wanted to get in front of it. At least that's what you're saying now in your interviews. I wanted to get in front of it. But when you had the chance to really get in front of it and check Porsha about it at that table, you didn't do that. So that makes you look crazy, okay? And not literally, but you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't look good for you. Right? So anywho, let's keep going. Kimberly tells Pinky that she was trying to talk to Porsha like a woman. She said, but you're not gonna make me be crazy. You're not gonna make me aggressive. You won't make me be anything. I said, Drew did. Drew did. Drew made you be crazy. Drew made you get aggressive. Drew made you be anything. And all she said was, oh my God. That's all she said. That's it. Oh my God. And I don't want to hear nobody saying nothing about, well, Drew shouldn't have said this or that. Ah, put your hand down. Put it down. You know why? Because if Kay felt the way about anybody giving ad libs, she should have said something to Kelly. If Kay felt the way about anybody giving ad libs, she should have said something to Angela. When Angela was sitting up there, when she was talking to Porsha about Nash or whatever, she was like, what's wrong with that? Like, what's wrong with that? Like, I'm confused. I'm confused. Where the food at? Why she ain't saying that? Angela had some ad libs right there in her ear. Drew is like 1-2 person over. And all she said was, oh my God. And she was like, what is it to you? First of all, now you talking to me. First of all, then let me tell you what it is to me. Just stop mentioning the damn man name. You the one who keep mentioning them. Therefore, attaching yourself to the damn man. I haven't brought this man around y'all physically at all. You saw this man through a damn phone on some damn Gizelle, Bryant, and Jamal, girl. I haven't even brought this man around y'all yet. Girl, you over here calling his damn name like Beetlejuice. Like, I need you to hold what you got. Not because, oh, that's my man, you can't say his name, but damn, if it's so much of a problem for you, stop saying it. It's really not that damn hard. It's really not that damn hard, girl. Either way, it is what it is. Kimberly goes on to say, because she's talking about Porsha, right? She says, you don't run Atlanta and you don't run me. I said, baby, Porsha somewhere sitting like, but I run this show though. Yeah, I may not run Atlanta, I may not run you, but I run this show. Cause what? This is Porsha's show. Period. Let's keep going. So Shamia's over there with her family, right? And they're over there talking about surrogacy. It don't, I'm wondering if Shamia can film with her kids. Like, I mean, I would think that she can, but obviously Gerald doesn't really want to be filmed, but we haven't really seen the kids this season. We've more so seen her family, it looks like, right? But either way, she's filming with her family. And when I tell you her parents are so cute, and it's so cute that her sister looks exactly like her daddy and Shamia look exactly like her mama. Okay. But at the same time, it looks like she got her daddy eyes. Like, okay. But either way, that's what's going on, right? So she tells her family about the Dallas trip, right? And how they were trying to blame her and all this stuff. And then, her mama said, girl, let them girls do what they're gonna do, because that's just how they is, don't let them affect you too much, right? So then she goes on to talk about surrogacy and the male embryo and stuff, and how she's worried. Gerald wants this child. She wants the child too, but then at the same time, she wants the child, it seems to me, because she wants to stay committed to whatever they agreed upon earlier on. But at the same time, it doesn't look like it's working out right. Right. It doesn't, because the embryos keep failing. But then also with that, Shamia is acquiring more stuff to her schedule, in my opinion. On top of still trying to figure out what's happening with Shiloh, what's going to happen with Shiloh. Is she going to be her baby forever? Forever? Will there be any progression? Right? So then Shamia is like, dang, that's just another task added onto my list. I think Shamia may be stressing too, from the standpoint of, I got other stuff I want to achieve. I don't want to be set back because I got another child. Right? But then y'all seem to have a whole bunch of help. So I don't even know if that would really be a thing. I'm not sure how old Gerald is, so I don't even know if something's wrong with his sperm or not, because they were able to make the embryos, and I'm just wondering I don't know what's happening. All I can say is, girl, good luck. Hopefully it works out. A lot of people are feeling like Gerald's gonna leave her. Gerald's gonna, if she don't produce that boy and all this and that. I don't know. Is he? It could be cheaper to keep her ass. So, like, I mean, is he really gonna leave her? I don't know. I feel like Gerald hasn't even given us a whole lot of his damn personality to decipher a lot, really. Um, I think he told her, you have to want this too, or whatever. And I'm like, what do you mean she has to want this too? Do you mean if she doesn't want it, you guys are not gonna go through with it? You know what I'm saying? Or you need her to get on board with what you want, and she wants to commit to that because of all that you have done for her. I don't fucking know. But whatever it is, good luck to Shamia and her family. Her feelings are valid though. I will say that. But good luck, child. Let's get to Kelly and Phaedra's. So Kelly goes over to Phaedra's house. The butler answers the door. Let me tell you something, Phaedra. Come here, have a seat. Don't say that. Just sit down. Girl, why the fuck you got a butler but had your damn son out there in that pool with his shirt off, half naked? You can hire the butler back to get his ass in that pool and help. Got them damn kids in that pool. Shamia damn mattress done got deflated or whatever, losing air, and damn Aiden didn't know what the hell to do. I bet you the butler would have knew. Oh, okay. Did Aiden get paid for that? He probably did. He probably got a little check. That's why he was out there. Aiden was out there trying to get his fucking money. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's keep going. So Kelly apologizes for showing her arse down to Phaedra house. Okay. She takes ownership for how she handled Porsha, but she said, listen, I had about enough of that putting her hand in my face. Okay. Don't you put your finger in my face. All right. Then she calls out the married Nigerian. And that's the first thing that I talked about. I do believe we got into it over there on the Patreon. Because some people will feel like 3 folks is enough to say that you don't fuck every Nigerian in Atlanta, right? Just like some people feel like, oh, she don't fuck 3 rappers. Oh, she's a groupie for the rappers, right? No different with the Nigerians. Of course, you got Simon, who was a Nigerian. Simon did put another Nigerian in his court documents that was married, that he was accusing Porsha of sleeping with or messing around with. And then also Nosh, right? Nosh went on, he did this interview. He was so open to share that he slept with Kimberly, and he was intimate with Kimberly, but when it came down to Porsha, he didn't want to spill, he didn't want to say, and he was like, huh? Like, that's adult business. That's TMI. Why is it TMI? Because if you didn't, it's easy to say no. Any nigga going through that much is just confirming that he fucked, and it's really just that simple. Okay, so now at that point we like, damn, that's what it is. Okay, so that's what Kelly said. Kelly brings up the married Nigerian. Now this is what I found to be funny. Phaedra sat up there, Miss, I know everything. Miss, I got a plug in every department. Right? She says, oh, I don't know anything about any court documents. Oh, you don't? You don't? But you knew what Pinky had going on, right? But you don't know nothing about them court documents. Yeah, but I probably would have acted stupid for my bestie too, girl. I don't know what the fuck you talking, girl. I don't know that. I know that's right. I ain't even mad at Phaedra, actually. Because, girl, don't be coming over here talking to me about my friend like that. I am not trying to be a part of no talking shit. I'm not. Let's talk about you for a little bit. I know what? You know what, Phaedra? I'm not mad at you, bitch. I'm not mad at you, okay? If I'm going to be in the middle, bitch, don't come to me talking about, But you know what, though? At the same time, Phaedra will get your information, though, Kelly. And she finna run this shit back to Porsha. And let me say this, too. So, Phaedra is Kelly's attorney. All right. So that was said in an interview, I believe, before the season started. Right before the season started, I think Kelly mentioned that Phaedra was her attorney. Right, we're gonna see in the upcoming episode how Phaedra, or the next episode, or the mid-season, at some point we're gonna see Phaedra help her out with that. But what I found to be very interesting was when Kelly went live, right, about the allegations of the pastor. She only went live because people started to hop in her DMs, hop in other pastors' DMs. It started to be y'all started to blow it out of proportion. I hate when y'all fans do stuff like that for people that do not be knowing y'all like that. Okay, it's so weird to another level. Like, why would y'all even want to? And then y'all like to do it from hidden pages, like you being in bad. Like, it's just so weird, right? Please back up off them folks. Okay, please back up off them. But when she came out and she gave this live statement, she turned around and said, "I'll deal with freak and fraud at the reunion." So now I'm like, so Phaedra a fraud? So wait, you got that Sheree Whitfield treatment when it came down to Bob? So did you not get what you want out of your court hearing? Dealing with Phaedra? Or did everything that Phaedra learn about you, and you a you know what? Let me scoot back a little bit. I feel like, girl, you real stupid, okay? But it's so much going on in my head right now. So first of all, you having Phaedra so close to your court documents, knowing that she's besties with you don't fuck with, this crazy work to me. You just sat up here and said, "No, I'm not going to tell you ladies what I'm going through." For y'all to turn around and throw it up in my face. The thing is, Phaedra always uses somebody else to do the throwing. Except for Angela. Okay. But she always used somebody else to do the throwing. And most of the time that person is Porsha. Because she always a fool enough to do it. And that's crazy. And honestly, Porsha don't like you no way, Kelly. So she will be happy to likely do it. But that's crazy. You don't want to let the ladies know what you got going on, but then you go and you run the Phaedra, you put it in court. That's not granted. She would violate attorney-client privilege or whatever. But also what she can go around and get around and share with Porsha, she fucking will. Like, is you cool? And it's like, I feel like you stupid, but I take that back. It's not that you're stupid. It's just that you're in a desperate position. And if Phaedra was willing to do this stuff for you pro bono, like, who's not going to get an attorney and not have to pay all the money for it? Like, who wouldn't do that, right? For the most part. And that is what's going on. That's a kiki to me. That's a kiki to me. Okay. That's probably why she's going to be dealing with freaking fraud at the Ooh, it ain't funny, but girl, you walked right into the lion's den, it seemed, and gave up your info. Let's keep going. So Kelly tells Phaedra about her struggles, right? And Phaedra, let me tell y'all, this how you know Phaedra already got tea on her. When she says, I can't film with my kids anymore, and my ex-husband is being a pain in the ass, da 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 da. Phaedra said, what? Oh my God. I'm like, big, get the fuck. You've had bigger reactions. You've had bigger reactions, girl. Oh, you know it too. You had bigger reactions. You just already had the scoop on her ass because you about went into them court records and pulled what you could already. Messy. Girl, playing in your face. Either way, Either way, y'all be letting Phaedra get y'all with that soft spoken. Yeah, okay, I may have some help for you on how you can handle filming with the kids, because Phaedra also can play that big sister role. Phaedra, you will be much, much, much more liked if you just continue that sister role, but don't share nobody tea. Not even with Porsha. Don't share nobody information. Because Kimberly feels like she's super close to you now. You've played that role in giving advice. I think Angela even said you gave her advice her first season. And you probably doing that with Kelly, as we see. I may have some advice. I may have something for you when it comes to filming with the kids, advice, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So she been in the game long enough. I think longer than Cynthia, I believe so, or about as long as Cynthia. So yeah, I see how she get y'all. I see. Just don't share that info, okay? Kelly tells Phaedra about her new man, right? And she says that she's choosing to not introduce him to the group. And I'm like, producers, let me tell you something. Come here, have a seat. Have a seat, sit down. Producers, come to the front, please. Producers, come to the front, please. Let me tell y'all something. I understand y'all are trying to help Kelly out because she don't have much of a storyline without showing her daughters, but I feel like she does. Like, she's giving us her, like, just to even know what's happening with your businesses is enough, high key. Like, girl, just to know that Sandy Springs was open and shut case, like, yeah, like that's something. I feel like because she can't show her daughters, the other one is in college. Y'all decided to give her this alley oop and just say, "Hey, give her this layup," is what I meant. Y'all gave her this layup, and it's like, hey, you could talk about your man. At least just talk about him. Then we'll get some combos because y'all trying to help her out. Y'all trying to keep that money in her pocket too. And I see it's a mama that need her money, and I appreciate that, right? And yeah, we're doing these calls and stuff, but at the same time, listen, I don't want to see the guy right now. I don't want to. I really, I'm okay with that because I understand the situation with the husband. However, we're not gonna be able to do this next season because the people gonna get tired of it. So you better bring you another friend on the show. Cause let me tell you something. Shout out to that motherfucker Drew Sidora. I don't care how y'all feel about her today, tomorrow, 365, 265. Okay, you may like her for 100 days and not for the rest. I don't give a damn. Okay, but Mamas is not filming with their ex-husband. Mamas is not filming with them children. But you know what Mamas when they did? Mamas when they got her team, whether she paying their ass or not, their ass showed up on that day. How about that? They showed up on that day. So Kelly, go get your team. Come fuck with my team. Okay, go find your team, girl, and bring them people on the show. Cause that little piece there was in the. Let's keep going. Anywho, so yeah, that's the thing with the producers. I want them to, figure it out because it may get a little awkward. And I'm hoping the judge rules before they start the next season and say that she does have permission to film with her children. I really, really hope that the judge grants her that. Okay. Now, Pinky and her husband and her beautiful little girl, they're at a photo shoot. She is a model for Mulano de Rouge. I hope I said it right. Is it Mulano de Rouge or Rogue? But I know it's Mulano. All right. The young lady that is in charge and the creator of this brand, from my understanding, the lady that is over it, she is the mother to rapper Meek Mill's son. Right. So the lady that runs that Milano brand, that is her. I really feel like her name is Milano, but don't quote me, child. She's a gorgeous girl. Can't think of her name at this time. But let's keep going. So Cynthia, Going back, yeah, Cynthia shows up to the photo shoot. I thought that was so nice of Cynthia to show up. And I love that the fact that Pinky and Cynthia may have bumped heads a little bit. I feel like Pinky shows more and more as to why she should be on this show. I like Pinky. I like Pinky from day one. I love it. So all the people that couldn't stand Pinky and she extra and she do too much and yeah, when your faves start doing it, I see the conversation change. Honey, y'all got a little quiet. Oh, okay, now speak up. Be loud like you was last week and the week before last. But either way, Pinky is fitting in very well with these ladies at this time. And I like that, right? And I feel like Pinky is a great example for Kimberly. Like, yeah, Pinky and Angela went head up. And now Angela is invited to the photo shoot. Angela and her are laughing. Like they was at the table laughing. When Angela said, I'm confused where the food at. She over here talking to Pinky. Pinky said, no, why I got to know everything? You always asking me like, why I got to know everything, right? So I'm loving it. That's how it goes, Kimberly. That's how we go. We snap off on each other. We hee hee ha ha. We be cool later. Okay, that's what we do over here. Period. So Cynthia shows up. She's taking pictures with Pinky's daughter. They're doing all these little cute little modeling moves. And I said, come on, little mama. I loved it. I loved it. I love seeing this little girl on the screen. I love that they support her in whatever. I said on Patreon her shenanigans, but like, yeah, her shenanigans, her little everything. Okay, super cute. Angela, Pinky, and Cynthia, right? So they go over there, they talk, they update Cynthia on what all she missed at Phaedra's house. Cynthia was glad to not have been there, honey. Cynthia says Porsha is trying to make an effort to befriend Kimberly. And Pinky says Porsha gives mean girl energy. I don't know if she was saying that or if she was saying Kay said that. Porsha gives mean girl energy. And of course, Cynthia doesn't feel that same way about Porsha. So Angela says they share an ex-boyfriend. I'm like, K Michelle just said ex, right? She just said ex. Okay? It's giving ex lover for me. And it ain't changing. It's giving ex lover for me. Cause y'all was over there watching. Period. But a lot of people focused on the term ex, and it really didn't matter because that wasn't the major thing. The conversation was never about Porsha and Kimberly messing with the guy at the same time. That was never what it was about. It was just about why you ain't come tell me. If you could talk to him about me, why you can't come talk to me about him? That's what the conversation was about. But people focused on the term ex so bad, I guess because they needed to vindicate Porsha of not smashing another friend's man or some shit like that. But okay, either way. So Angela brings up her issue, right, with Shamia and says that she keeps bringing up old stuff. Nah, that would be you. That would be you. That would be you. That would be you. You've been the one bringing up old stuff, talking about this girl saying that y'all ruined the friendship or whatever. That's old. You're bringing that up. Shamia just was calling you out because your ass is currently doing it. That's what's going on. So Pinky, shout out to Pinky, big Pinky, not the little one. She tells Angela, I can say this now because you are my friend, but girl, you do be instigating. Yeah, you are instigator. You know what you be doing. But this is what Pinky tells her. Pinky says that I don't think you be doing it on purpose. I'm like, nah, she do. She said, I think you genuinely be wanting to know. I think two things are true, and they both are. She knows what she's doing. She does it on purpose, okay? And she be wanting to know. Like all of us be wanting to know. Okay. So that's that. Pinky tells them about her sit down with Porsha. And this was one of the ones where I did feel like Pinky was being extra as she sat down with Porsha. Not letting Porsha talk was like, you're not gonna come to my house and not let me get my words out, girl. Okay. Porsha had to tell her, girl, you've talked. But you've talked. It's my but you have talked, girl. It's my turn. Okay. And then for Pinky to follow it up as Portia's talking about the friendship with Kimberly. And then when she's talking about the friendship with Kimberly, Pinky follows it up and says, it's not on your terms though. It's not on your terms, Porsha. It's not on your terms. And I'm like, I don't think that was cool to me. I don't think that was fair to say that it's not on her terms. Like, what do you mean? We're both on the same terms if we're trying to get to know each other. That's it. Like, I'm so confused. What do you mean it's not on her term? They're building the friendship at the same time together. What's not on her term? To get Kay to talk to her? I'm so confused. What do you mean? What's not? What you mean by that? Yeah, I think I think Pinky could have scooted back a little bit on that. But either way, her and Porsha were able to come to an understanding to where Porsha said, listen, I'm always open for a conversation as long as it's respectful. We could talk. Like, we're good. Like, I'm cool with that. Let's make it happen, okay? Now, Shamia and Kelly, girl, let's get to this. So Kelly decides she's finna go over here to this cosmetic dentist, right? Getting her teeth done or whatever, okay? Shamia shows up. They over there twinning and stuff. Happy to see her friend, whatever. She tells us in the confessional that Jarvis bought a new smile for her. And he was willing to spend whatever. And she gonna sit up here and say he spent $70,000. I said, no, ho, you mean 7,000. Because he couldn't have spent 70. What kind of dental work did you get that needed 70,000? Okay? $70,000 worth of work on. Do you got some diamonds in this motherfucker? Like, what do you got that's $70,000 worth? And your child asking for a fucking car. Like, girl, listen, if you would have got her a $20,000 car, okay, you still had 50 racks left over to do something with. You could have got your teeth done. You could have put some money into some account, some high yield. Like, you could have did so, and bitch, you go spend it on some teeth. I ought to whoop your little fake my right now. Or is it Betty Crocker? Okay? Girl, she about pissed me off. 70,000 fucking. And you know what? He a wash too. Cause you over here crying about struggling with your bills and shit. Did he say he was gonna put 70,000 towards your business? And you gonna put it in your mouth? But some part of me would want to believe he also could have already put it on her businesses too. Maybe not enough because one of them hoes shut down. I don't know. But 70 racks and you sitting up here in a fucking confessional with a bad wig, terrible makeup, and a fucking t-shirt. Are you crazy? No, ma'am. 70,000 on your teeth? Let's sit on that for a second. What? And you over here talking about you want to make sure your parents and stuff is comfortable? The only shit comfortable is them teeth in your mouth. Like, what the fuck for 70 racks? You know who's saying comfortable and whose family is A-O-K? The dentist. The dentist office. Okay? The dentist is. Okay? The assistants. The bonuses they got off you. What? Then he gonna deliver some flowers. Then he delivers her a chain with a picture of her daughters on it. Now, I did love that part. I love that he made her feel good in that moment. I feel like all women deserve to have that feeling, but at the same time, baby, he playing. He might be a great guy, but I feel like y'all still in the honeymoon phase just a little bit. He's still in the flex phase. I don't know. Is this man on the NFL team? Is he on the NBA team? Who is this man? What does he own? Okay? Because Kelly, let me tell you something. You should have brought this to the show. You should not have brought this to the show. Because the way the people from the dig and scratch to find out who he is by next season, girl, I hope he don't got a baby mama in sight. Ooh, I hope he don't. I hope he don't got a baby mama in sight. I hope he does not have any other women in sight or previous girls or any overlapping of the situation. I hope he ain't got none of that, boo. But they finna dig on you, digging on you, digging on me, digging this. They finna be digging on you, girl. But good luck, honey. Okay. You over here trying to sign a damn contract with your child. You should have been signing a different contract with that fucking 70. Girl, I could beat. I think Kelly got her titties done too, y'all. I'm not gonna hold you. Cause when I saw her, them mugs was still up. I was like, oh, okay, girl. Get it. Get it, get it. Okay, you pay for that too? Mm-hmm. I don't know. You get it, girl? Anywho, let's keep going. Drew walks in with her team. Your team. Come for my team. Okay. So they over there. She got a new manager. They sit over here in the meeting. I counted about 7 to 18 members. I felt like it was entertaining. I said, this could be a show. Maybe they could call it because Sidora says so. Okay. Maybe they could make it a little mini series or something like that. A little song, little spin off, little spin, a little wicked win, little star, something like that. Okay. Maybe they could. All right. But what was crazy to me was the fact that y'all was going off in front of the new manager. Unprofessional as hell. Drew, you ain't got no order over your team, baby. Leah, we see you, Leah. Shout out to Leah. Okay? Miss Leah, baby. Leah was up there hiding behind that damn hat, honey. Leah said, my name, Bennett ain't in none of this shit. I'll do none of this unprofessional shit. My name has been around for a very long periodical time. I have worked with some of the best of them in the business. You bitches will not, okay, be putting me into this drama y'all got going on. All right. I showed up to be supportive because I am a part of the team, but don't be trying to play me like that, bitch. Baby, she was sitting in the corner of that seat, corner of that sofa, that sectional, baby, with that hat on, trying to be incognito. But we see you and we know you, boo. Okay, but I ain't blaming baby. I'm Leah, baby. Put me over here in the corner. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to Leah and her whole family. Okay, shout out to your little sis, my profile. But let's keep going. So one of the guys said the other guy looked like a damn double stuffed Oreo. And I said, now wait a minute, baby, because you getting a regular Oreo. So why you over here shading him? I guess it takes the Oreo to know an Oreo, boo. What you got? Don't do that. Don't do that. But it may have worked, honey, because the Oreo man or the Oreo company got into the DMs of him and said, hey, you know, we appreciate you for mentioning us on, we saw you mention us on Housewives or whatnot, and Drew Sidora is our favorite housewife, so we would love to, I guess, collab, whatever the case is. So hopefully that happens. I would love to see a Drew Sidora commercial, Oreo commercial in the middle of one of these Housewives episodes. Remember when the Housewives used to do commercials like that? Right? The little promos or whatever. I love it. Like, y'all need to get that happening real quick. Manager, get on it. Get on it, girl. Get on it. Okay, I'll make them follow through with what they said. Let's get Porsha, Kimberly, Pinky, and Cynthia, right? So they all go sit down. Kimberly says Porsha is huge and she knows she could beat her ass, so she's gonna be real cordial. Okay, thank you for your honesty, because this right here explains why you approached her the way that you did versus how you approached Drew, because you feel like you could beat Drew's ass, right? You don't think you could beat Porsha's, but at the same time, y'all be thinking because y'all know people can fight, or we don't know if she can fight, but we know she will fight. There's a difference, okay? Y'all be tripping because y'all be thinking because we know people will fight and because they got height on them that they'll beat everybody's ass, and it's just simply not true. I have seen some small people take down some big ass folks, so be very clear, okay? But again, why would the ladies be fighting? Like, okay, why would y'all be doing that? Y'all look too good to do that, okay? Don't be doing that. Don't fight. Pop, sit down. So they leave Porsha and Kimberly to themselves to have a conversation. Pinky says that she feels like she's losing her voice. Porsha said, oh, good. And Pinky said, I love that whole scene. I love that whole scene because it was just like, it was just so genuine. It was so natural. It was funny. They're liking her. Like, it was just good. It was cute. 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 All right. Kimberly tells Porsha that she doesn't think she was trying to hear her out, or she felt like Porsha wasn't trying to hear Kimberly out, right? So Porsha admits that she was already put off. And I'm like, Porsha, I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you saying that because it was already giving that, right? And you were put off and you weren't trying to be open. And I appreciate you admitting that, right? And I was already put off because I was already hearing stuff from other folks, okay? So that's that. And so Kimberly said she admits that she was wrong for not coming to her directly. I said, okay, I can appreciate that. So like, yeah, because you should have the same thing you wanted from her. You could have did it too. So then Porsha says that she felt like she was giving Kimberly a lot, but she isn't reciprocating it, right? And Kimberly says, well, you got to understand first, okay, my first encounter with you was off-putting. It was giving mean girl energy, okay? So Porsha says, well, girl, I'm going to tell you right now, baby, you're going to see more than that. So you might as well get ready. I don't know how you done did reality TV as long as you have. And you done seen way more crazier stuff, okay, than what we have. All right, girl? So you're going to see some crazy stuff, but you'll be all right. You'll find your way. You'll find your way, girl. Just be careful about what you're being told, though. Child, be careful, because who is the one that's telling a little piece, okay? Who's telling? So Porsha and Kimberly both agreed that they have no ill will for each other. And Kimberly agrees that if they have an issue, they will give each other 48 hours to address the issues. And they're calling it a friendship contract. And I said, baby, no, friendship contracts do not work out over here. They sure don't. Anywho, the scheme and plot of it all. I mean, Cynthia, I don't think Cynthia and Nene are friends, but I can never tell. Sometimes they cool, sometimes they not. Sometimes Nene be shading the shit out of Cynthia. Like, okay, girl. Good luck. So the scheme and the plot of it all, because I believe Pinky asked her, so did we figure out the scheme and the plot? And Porsha was like, yeah, okay. Like, you got to let that go, girl. Like, Drew hasn't said anything about you. Phaedra hasn't said anything about you. Like, they really haven't done nothing. And I agree. Okay. Kimberly says, when it comes to Drew, people feel like people are picking on Drew. I said, oh, stop. Go back. Go back. Kimberly says, when it comes to Drew, people feel like people are picking on Drew. No, stop. Go back. Kimberly says, when it comes to Drew, people feel like people are picking on Drew. Stop and go back. Kimberly says, when it comes to Drew, people feel like, who the fuck is these people you talking about? Who is these people that you're referring to, Kay? When y'all were filming this show, you didn't even know, right? You are just now learning how the fans feel about Drew as it pertains to you and her having a beef and being on the show. I have no doubt that K. Michelle has watched the show like a lot of us have. Obviously, the show been on for years. It's a show she's always wanted to be on, right? And being that she's always wanted to be on the show, she's like been seeing what's going on. Okay. So now it seems like you've moved the meter for me. Okay. You said that it was Phaedra, Porsha, and Drew that was coming to you with this. Okay. Then you turned around and you said that you told Phaedra it was just Porsha and Drew. Then you get to the table again and you said it was all three of them. Now you supposedly had the conversation with Phaedra, which you really didn't even have a conversation with Phaedra. You just breezed over her quote unquote involvement, right? Then you just brushed it over with damn Porsha, right? And now you're focusing on Drew, and these are all choices. And it makes me feel like, in my personal, and again, keep in mind, I have no doubt that a plot was likely in place because, one, I feel like multiple things can be true because that's how the shows go. They need plots, they need things to set it up to make it entertaining, but you also have to let the plots play out, right? But I also feel like you have, and then also Jason Lee said Phaedra was calling trying to get information or whatever the case is, and then now her and Phaedra like they cool as hell or whatever, right? But also, it also kind of gives, if not with Porsha and Phaedra, it definitely gives with Drew that you've seen the show and you don't really like her kind. You already had a feeling about Phaedra because I remember you asking why she always laughing all the time. I guess you expected more from her. Why she always laughing, right? Porsha, I feel like you may not have liked how she's shown up on the show too, but she's cool. Take it, leave it, whatever. Okay. Same thing with Drew. So I don't know. I ain't liking it though. And Drew, you feel like Drew concocted this whole thing. So then they played the one thing that I highlighted, which was when Drew said, be careful of those oysters though. And my thing is, she could have been a part of that, but that's not what K. Michelle is saying she's a part of. K. Michelle is saying that Drew is a part of the black situation of it all. And let's go back to the oyster because it can't be the oyster. Because at the end of the day, you're not mad at Cynthia for ordering them. Even if Drew said, be careful of the oysters, Porsha was the one that said, that one looked good. This one got a stench. That one looked good. And you're not mad with Porsha. So again, what is the issue with Drew? That's not making sense, Kay. I'm not riding with you on that one. That's not making sense. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So Kimberly says that she talked to each party. No, you haven't. You haven't talked to Drew, really. You said something at the table, but when y'all were back in Texas, but I don't think it went anywhere. Because even when Drew tells you she don't know what you're talking about, she has nothing to do with that or anything, it don't matter. You're still set on believing what you want to believe. So I just would need more because I don't believe Drew was a part of it. I don't believe that Drew started to be a part of it, but I do believe once Drew learns that you're willing on some Angela shit, Angela being cool with Phaedra and damn Porsha after the BS, and you now wanting to allow yourself with the same two, but then come after Drew. Yeah, so now Drew gonna probably start getting on your ass now because you want a problem with me now. And I ain't even do nothing to you, but since you want this, then I'm gonna give you what you're looking for. That's what I think is going on. I don't think it's nothing. I think whatever quote unquote plot or whatever they had going on, if it was one, I really don't feel like Drew was in on it. I really don't. But y'all let me know. I mean, y'all may feel that way. I don't. I don't at all. But either way, I don't think it was something she was in on from the beginning, and I don't think it's something she jumped on at a later time. But I do think from this moment forward, once she learns that, oh, I'm the problem now. Well, let me give you what you want. That's what I do think that now going forward. Okay. But either way, that's what's going on. So she says that she feels like Drew be lying about what she got going on. And that's okay. A lot of these ladies be up here lying about what they have going on. My thing is, what does what she have going on have to do with you directly? What is she lying? Because see, you see how the plot is fading away a little bit? Like, I'm just a little confused because one minute you want to say it's the oysters, then you want to say that it's black, but then you really want to focus on black because the oyster was really about Porsha. So now is she lying about what she got going on? What's she lying about? Yeah, that don't make sense, okay? All right. Um, yeah, that don't make sense. Cause I'm trying to figure out her line about what she got going on. What does that have to do with her insinuating that you over there messing with black? Like something she never said. Make it make sense. Let's keep going. All right. So now the plot is on Drew. Drew is the plot. Okay. So anywho, uh K Michelle gets in the confessional. Kimberly gets in the confessional and she says, this is what the plot was. To act like I know your side, dude. Then she goes into the oysters and all that. Y'all gotta let me know. Then she said the last one was her three toes. I said, Kimberly, shut up. Shut up. None of it makes sense. You only want to issue with Drew. And Porsha was right in her interview when she said it's not gonna work out how you think that it is. Okay. I'm so sorry. It's not. Unless I see something this season to show that Drew did concoct something or Drew said something, I don't see it. So Porsha tells Kimberly that everyone told her that Drew never came to them, though, connecting her to black. Nobody did that. She said, but Shamia said that this wasn't the first time the convo had been happening. She says that it's been happening before. That's what the flashback was. So now Porsha is insinuating Shamia is putting this stuff in K. Michelle's head again. And I'm kind of like, well, how would Shamia really know what conversations are being had when it comes to Drew and Black if Shamia and Drew don't talk? How would she know that? And if she is saying that, then who told you that? Her comment about saying, oh, this well, she said, oh, this isn't the first time that conversation has been had, that to me doesn't confirm that Shamia told Kimberly anything. That doesn't confirm that. So I'm gonna need more. But it looks like Porsha is focusing back on Shamia. And it's crazy because it shows to me how all of these ladies really view Shamia for some reason. I don't know what it is about Shamia they don't like, but it's showing to me clearly that they do not like that Kimberly is good friends with Shamia. That's what it looks like to me. And keep in mind, Shamia didn't pull that lady. Kimberly chose to go over there and be friends with Shamia. So okay. Either way, Porsha says Drew likes to get tea on the people that come on the show, and I'm like, all y'all do. All of y'all like to get tea on people. So to make it like, I understand they probably just asked about Drew in the confessional, but no, all y'all do this shit. Porsha says she hasn't gotten tea on her, but she wants her to know that whoever's telling you this stuff, this is what Porsha saying to Kimberly. I haven't gotten tea on you, but whoever's telling you this stuff, they need to make themselves known. Okay? I'm willing to believe it could potentially be Kelly. I'm not gonna hold y'all. It could be. And it could be Shamia as well. But I feel like the way Shamia has been moving this season, I feel like she's been moving in a place where she's trying to not offer much of anything so that the blame does not come back on her. And because we've already seen one or two instances where Kelly has said something and it's like y'all thinking it came from this person, but it actually came from Kelly, is what's making me think it could be Kelly. I don't know. But let's keep going. All right. So Angela and Shamia, they sit down and talk. Shamia says when she tries to get to know Angela, it's hot and cold. And even when Kimberly told you that I didn't do none of the stuff you tried to put on to me, you still kept saying it was me. So it feels like you just keep picking. And Angela says, why do you always think you're a victim? You want to go back? You want to go back? And Shamia's like, no, you know, you the one that said you got a gift. And Angela said, yeah, I have a gift in my discernment. Yeah, I have and discernment. Shamia said, well, use your discernment to sell some houses. I said, oh, not use it to sell how Angela said, Shamia. She said, girl, you're not high on the scale for me to be bothered by you. Shamia said, then stop being bothered. Whack again. Welcome. Welcome. Okay? Welcome. Use that discernment to sell you some houses. Then stop being bothered because it's definitely given that you are bothered. Angela brings up the friendship breaking up. And Shamia said, baby, I'm not here to talk nothing about Porsha, baby. I'm not talking about nothing from the past. We're going to talk about what's going on today, present day, current. Let's get into it. I said, come on, Shamia. Baby, you better meet her with this energy. She didn't get this energy last year, but she getting it this year. Okay? Would a real Shamia please stand up? Okay. So Shamia says, you instigated with Kimberly. Right. She said Angela asked if she Angela asked if she told Kimberly how they fell out or whatever like that. And she was like, no, actually I did not. Y'all, Kimberly watches the show. Kimberly already was aware. Kimberly watches the show. Okay. So Shamia said, actually, I did not. No, I didn't. Okay. And then she says, I just find it very funny that you're over here forgiving certain people for doing certain things to you. But when it comes to me, you know, I don't get that luxury. I'm like, Shamia, whack her again. I said, because listen, it's giving real lapdoggish to me. It's giving Angela, you over here talking about Shamia being a lapdog. It's giving you're now the lapdog, still going after Porsha. I'm sorry, still going after Shamia for Porsha. And Porsha about ain't even asking you to do it, just like she about went asking Shamia to do it last year when Shamia was doing too much with Drew. Okay, so Angela gonna ask Shamia, who you conjuring up, girl? Who you trying to be? You want to be like this person? You want to be Kandi? Oh, that's when you lost. You lost. Kandi, girl, Kandi ain't even on this show, baby. Shamia said, you don't even know Kandi. She was like, I don't gotta know Kandi, but I know you want to be like Kandi. In what way? In what way? In what way you think I want to be? I don't mind hanging out with Kandi because we're friends. We hang out. But in what way do I want to be like her? Damn. God damn. So does that mean you want to be like Porsha? You want to be like you want to be like Phaedra? Is that what you want to do? So either way, she says that Shamia don't have her own identity. Girl, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Use that shit on Phaedra, okay? Not Shamia. Okay, that's the one that I feel follows behind Porsha and mimics the styles and hair and all of that shit. I'm surprised she ain't got no go naked deal. Okay, use that shit on somebody else. Maybe you could have used it on Cynthia and Drew the way all three of them be looking alike in them photos. Okay, so yeah, either way. Then she starts talking about her wanting an EGOT. Like you want to be a background, you want to be a backup singer. You're a backup singer, you want an EGOT? And I'm like, girl, cut it out. Cut it out, ho. A backup girl, cut it out. Girl, I do this. I actually can sing. Like, be clear. What you talking about? A EGOT? That will work on Drew. Okay. That probably will work on Drew, who's actively pursuing those things right now. Okay. She more knee deep in it than damn Shamia. So then Angela talks about being self-made, right? She said something about, like, I think she said, I never had to, was that when she said I never had to lay on my back or something like that? She said, I never had to lay on my back to get on my feet or something like that. I'm self-made. I never had to lay on my back to get on my feet. It's like, but your houses are in foreclosure, girl. Shut up. Miss Self-Made. Okay? Or they've been foreclosed on already. And then I never had to lay on my back to get on my feet. But you damn sure tiptoed your ass down to the concierge trying to befriend them and get tips on a nigga that wasn't necessarily your nigga at the time. And you wore his ass down, Steve Urkel, until you married him. What? That's crazy. And to act like he too did not elevate your damn life, girl, cut it out. Cut it out. Miss Angela, it wasn't working. I don't care how nobody, y'all can love Angela into the ground. Okay? The hits didn't work this time. Shamia was on her ass. Okay? Shamia had Angela on them ropes, period. Okay. Shamia talks about seeing this lady's husband. You know, I think she said something about he be out all the time and he don't come to you till late at night or whatever. And then Angela was like, why my husband always see you when he out? And it's like, shit, why your husband always out? If he seeing me, I be at the games. I got work to do. Why is he always out and never with you? Like, girl, I would have been wearing Angela ass out. Okay. Angela says something like, let's talk about the Falcons and Hawks. And Shamia like, let's talk about it because I do a great job. I do my job very well, right? And I think Angela asked her why she's still there or something like that. And I think that's when Shamia was like, oh, I do a great job. I do a very well job. She said, you should get you one because real estate not working for you. Baby, whack her again. Whack her again. I said that on Twitter and somebody tried to say, oh, so if you think Sasquatch, basically they felt like the stuff that Shamia said in the confessional was the reason why I said Shamia ate Angela up. It had nothing to do with none of that shit. No Sasquatch, big feet, none of that shit. She backed her up off her. Girl, go get you a job because that real estate not working for you. Okay? It's not. Use your discernment to sell some houses, girl. Okay? Whack her again. Yes, absolutely. What else? So what else? When Shamia at some point was like, oh, I'm finna leave, whatever. She gets up, right? When she gets up, it looks like she slipped. I had to rewind it. But what she did was she got up and she moved quick and she looked and she said something about Angela's feet. People thought that Shamia was slipping when she walked out, and that's not what happened. Because I thought that too. I said, did she almost slip? So I had to go back and rewind it so I could see what it was. So yeah, she leaves, she goes to her car, whatever, she gets ready to go. Angela's like, what we running for? What we running for? This is what she said, right? But I was looking at the screen and I said, well, actually, she not running. No, but you know, her fans gonna feel that way, of course. She not running. That lady politely walked out of there, took her time getting in her car, which was valeted, okay? Got in her car, took her time closing that door, and then did an interview at that bitch. Ma'am, that's not running. If you wanted to get off what you needed to get off, you could have came outside and you chose not to, okay? Plenty of women have done that. Somebody leave out somewhere, they following behind their ass, okay? So if you really wanted to get off what you needed to get out, you would have followed behind Shamia and said it. Talking about some why you running. Girl, nobody running from you, girl. Shamia just like to stand up and show that big ass, okay, in your face. She like to stand up and show that big ass, okay? You love talking about somebody ass fake. So is your nose. I love you down though. And I'm gonna let the fans be mad. I'm starting to live to piss y'all off. But yeah, girl. Anyway, so Shamia got down to the social media. And this is what she said over on social media. She says, having the last name Oakley and saying I slept with players to get ahead is diabolical. Ooh. She says, how many players did you have to smash before one wifed you? Oh my God. Oh, and I'm not mistaken. Oh, and if I'm not mistaken, he claimed to have been intoxicated while doing so. Please don't let these people gas you up. Oh, this should be a here, baby. She says, you and I both know I didn't run from you on last night's episode. I was asked to leave because the conversation wasn't going anywhere. There's always more than what y'all see. Hashtag reunion is coming. Hashtag I won't be silenced. I don't know what that is about. I won't be silenced. What is that about? I won't be silenced. I don't know. I already told you I feel like her and Porsha came into the season saying they will not be speaking on each other at all. Not much engagement at all. So did you agree to be silent? And then now you saying you won't be silent? I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm here for it. All right. But that's all I got. I'm Jamie. That's me. Leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
Yeah. Family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking the drama.